The other day, I was talking with my friend about how he is going to most likely die for a foreign country. And we go through this bit a lot where I give him my outwardly disposition towards the military. He tells me why he doesn't just leave. It's a back and forth kind of deal. Nothing serious, just banter, just something we can talk about to talk about something. And this time was different though. We said there was something he said to me that really made me think. It was something we were just going back and forth as we do, and he was asking me, "Are you fulfilled with your job?" And I asked him, "Are you? Do you feel fulfilled within your life to do what you do, right?" He told me yes, because I mean, if let's just be real here, the army, the military, it's a career. You can make if as long as you don't fucking die, right? You can make a career out of that. And I'm talking like you're not gonna be filthy rich, but you're not gonna be dirt poor. You're able to live a life and have a pretty good amount of money for yourself and for your family and whatnot. He's very traditional, very much working man, stay-at-home wife, 2 to 3 kids, golden retriever kind of guy, right? And he asked me if I'm fulfilled with my job, right? Now, I deliver pizzas, right? Not the same caliber of career, but I told him that yeah, I am pretty fulfilled with my job. Now, you also have to understand that me and him are fundamentally just two different people. I already told you he's the same, like, very traditional man, house stay-at-home wife, 2 to 3 kids, right? I don't have that same kind of end goal for my familial status at the end, right? And I told him a lot of what your, I don't want to say self-worth, but a lot of the value that you kind of attribute to your life does now come from your job and your ranking status, like in your field. And my self-worth, my like reasons for living don't revolve around the way I get money at all. To me, my job is just how I get money. It's not a reflection of who I am. It's not an extension of who I am. It's not anything about who I am. It's just where I go to make money. I was thinking about it. I told him I get to deliver pizzas, whatever. Not the most glamorous thing in the world, but the amount of money I make just delivering pizzas allows me to be able to do what I love. I get to come home and make videos and be with all my cats and like be able to afford a 3 monitor setup with a decent to nice PC with a nice MacBook, good quality mic. Like I'm able to have that income to be able to fulfill my life, you know? And within this, just doing videos, sure, sometimes seeing the videos not pop off on my main account does kind of sadden me a little bit. But I'm still doing it. I'm still doing what I love, which is making videos, which is doing streams, being an entertainer. That is what I love to do. And it made me think like how many of us only derive value from our lives based on our job, our like income, our monetary worth. How much of that dictates our own self-worth? I wanted to talk today about kind of distancing yourself from that mindset because at the end of the day, who the fuck cares how much money you have? You know, what I'm looking at in the near future, I'm looking at a future for humanity that might not even require paper money. I'm looking at bartering. I'm looking at just trade. And I feel like dumping a lot of your self-worth into your career path, your bank account, really, that's just not a good way to live. Putting a number on how successful you think you are, how much worth you think you are. I mean, that's just already crazy in and of itself. But I mean, what positive kind of like what path is good with that mindset? The only way to improve your life at that point, if you're so self-centered on your career and how like your self-worth, your net income, right? The only way to have any positive impact is just to make more money, to just be a higher ranking official, you know? I view just my day-to-day small victories as my self-worth, you know? I went into work today, I made like $100 in maybe 6 hours. I don't work that hard, you know? I put the pizzas in my car, I drive my car, and I give them the pizza. And then I get back in my car and I drive back. And I made $100 in like 6 hours today, and I was able to leave a little earlier. I was planning to stay a little late, depending on just how much money I made in general. But I was able to go home early, and then kind of catch up on some sleep before I can get back into my work. You know, I count that as a small little victory. Get off work early, go to the gym, get home, take a rest break. You know, I feel like if I were to, because I mean, I used to do that low key. I used to like harp on myself all the time for not making enough money, being like, oh, women aren't gonna want me. Like, I'm not making enough money to even afford a girlfriend. Or like, man, if I don't make this amount of money by the end of the month, I'm like low key worthless because I can't do shit, you know? And I realized like, it just kind of doesn't matter. It just does not matter. How, like, if I make 28,000 versus, or yeah, 2,800 versus $3,000. Who cares? It's a $200 difference. Sure, that impacts a little bit, but that doesn't make me less of a man. It doesn't make me less of a human. It doesn't make me less of anything. It just means I made 200 less dollars and I got to just plan accordingly, you know? I feel like the way, I mean, it's just a systematic problem with capitalism and America as a whole. But I feel like to be to attribute your worth as a human being, as a man, to attribute your worth to your job, what you do for money, I feel like that's really stupid. And that line of thinking can really only lead to disaster unless you're incredibly lucky to be able to get a career that not only can provide you a path like upward, but can provide you a path that is financially going up, not just in, oh, you're a line cook and now you're a manager, $1 pay raise. You know what I mean? What I'm trying to say, really, is to never attribute your self-worth, how you feel about yourself, to how much money you make. That makes no fucking sense. Especially if you're in the military. That's even more lame, you know? But that's bro. Can't can't diss bro like that. Thank you.